Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre.
What a great song.
It will soon pass, whatever it is.
So true. Thanks, Bobby McFerrin.
Be happy.
I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed it. And you know what? I think it sort of is relevant for what we're about to talk about, because we're just going to talk about the Queens Pier, which of course has been being restored for some years now. And of course, something like that, a big job like that, not without its challenges. But I tell you what, the people involved don't half remain happy and just get on regardless. And we're going to find out an update now from Dennis Curphey, who's a project manager for the Queens Pier Restoration Trust. So fast am I, Dennis?
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the programme. It's lovely to speak with you. I mean, before we get an update on the pier itself, how did you get involved with it?
Well, that's a good question. Well, it's through Graham, who you've already interviewed here. My brother Graham, obviously. He got involved before me, and he just wanted me to. A couple of times he asked me to come down when they got the first bay of steel. They were painted that themselves, and it needed turning. It's picked up and turned over, and it's very heavy. So, me being experienced driving the machines to lift these beams, that was asked to come and would I operate and lift it, and that got me started. And then I finished work, then I went in full time. So yeah. So,
because your background's in construction, so I suppose it sort of fits, even if it's not doing exactly the same thing. You've got that sort of brain. But we were just chatting off there and saying how there are so many different elements to jobs and things that are needed to make the Queen Pier's restoration happen. It's not just about the construction side, is it? There's so many different people doing different things.
There are, yes. Lots of painting, scraping down old steel, painting it up, it's oh heavens, yes.
And all the backroom stuff as well. You've got people, sort of doing stuff for the website and the socials. And you've got, I love the fact you've got essentially biscuit bringers and cake givers as well. I mean, that's so important, isn't it?
We couldn't do without them. That keeps us going.
It absolutely does. Well, so where are we at the moment then with the pier? Because obviously it's an ongoing project. What's the latest progress report, Dennis?
Right. Structurally wise, we've got Bay 7 all finished and Bay 8 as far as we can go, because Bay 8 goes to Bay 3 to Bay 8, 3/4 of the way along Bay 8 is 21 feet 6 wide. Then we go out to Bay 9, which is the first stabilising bay. So that goes out an extra 6 meters. That goes another 20 feet wide at 10 feet each side. So we have what we call a tow out from Bay 8, and that's about 3/4 of the way along Bay 8 out to Bay 9. So we've stopped there at the moment because we can't put them angles in until Bay 9 is done. So we have to have the steel for Bay 9 and these tow-ins. Then it goes back in the other way onto Bay 10. So we have to do Bays 9 and 10 together next year. So yeah, so as far as we can go on Bay 8, so all we've got to do now on them two bays is the final coat of paint on the rails, and then put the plaqueboards down and all the plaques for the sale of the planks.
Oh, brilliant. And I find it fascinating every time I talk to any of you from the pier, because you're volunteers, you do this in your own time, and you give up an awful lot of time to make it happen. But, none of you will have built a pier before, so you're having to work it out as you go, I'm guessing.
No, well, actually, it was Head Wrightson were the company that built the pier back in finished it, and it was officially opened in 1886. But we have one of our volunteers, Dick Surrey, a lovely, lovely, lovely guy. And without Dick, he's the mainstay, really, because he is an engineer by trade. And he actually worked for Head Wrightson.
Wow, so he was with the company that actually built the pier?
He worked for the company that actually built the pier. Now, we tease him that he was an apprentice at the time the pier was being built. But, Dick is a great, great guy. Great gig.
So you do have a bit of experience there. So, but the amount of time you must be spending down there. How often are you all down there working on it?
Well, the main body of lads work on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday mornings. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have myself and Steve, one of our other volunteers, and he's also a trustee, comes in on a Saturday morning. Steve more than me usually, but because we have one or two people come in on a Saturday morning that are not retired yet, so they are working during the week, but they still give us their Saturday mornings. which is brilliant.
It is brilliant.
They could be home with their family, but they don't. They come in and give us their Saturday mornings.
Well, I suppose that's the thing, because, you're putting your time and energy into something that you are seeing develop and progress and become a reality as you work on it. So it must be quite a magical thing to do.
Oh, yeah, fantastic project to be involved in.
But this year can't have been easy because the weather has been shocking, hasn't it?
This is since I started full time. Yeah, this is probably the worst summer we've had for weather-wise, and it has held us up a bit. But no, we'll plod on through.
Yeah, and you're still getting fantastic donations from people as you go, aren't you? People are always giving.
Yes, we can't move on without them.
Yeah,
and so please, people out there, keep giving.
I suppose part of it as well is planning, isn't it? Because when you've got to buy the materials in to make things work, you've got to know you've got the money in to do that beforehand.
Oh yes. We have a good relationship with our steel fabricators firm in Glasgow, or south of Glasgow, called James Cowie and Sons, and they buy in the steel. They fabricate our main beams. They put it out to a local shop to be galvanised, then to another local shop to be painted. And when it's painted, sitting on the lorry, waiting to come to us, they send us a photograph of it with the invoice. And we then pay them. So they've got all the expense of getting it all made, ready for shipment. As soon as we pay them, they ship it out.
So people are helping in their own way, really, aren't they? In whichever way they can. And for anyone that's listening that's thinking, actually, I really want to contribute to help make this thing happen, there's loads of different ways people can financially support you, isn't there?
Oh, heavens, yes. Obviously, by buying planks, you can sponsor the stanchions.
This is for the new bay, Bay 10, isn't it? That's
right, because everything obviously has gone on out to the end of Bay 8. Bay 9 is there's no stanchions and all on Bay 9 because the seating goes round the outside of Bay 9. So there'll be no stanchions that. But there's 4 lamps, 4 like street lamps that we've already got 2 on the end of Bay 2. So now there's 4 going on. They'll be on 8 and 2 on 8 and 2 on 10, but it's part of the shape of Bay 9.
So people can sponsor those.
They are all gone as well.
Oh.
But there will be more. Obviously, there will be more coming up, but it'll be a little while before we put any street lamps after these ones.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the various social pages and websites and everything. But, there's various fundraising events, and actually, we're going to find out more about some bits and pieces coming up in just a few moments. But do you know what I think we should do, Dennis? I think we should have a little Christmas song.
Sounds
shall
good.
we? Do you like Brenda Lee?
Of course I do.
All right, then. Well, this is for you. We're going to have a bit of a rock around the Christmas tree.
As festive as bread sauce, stuffing and pigs in blankets. Manx Radio at Christmas.
Rocking around.
Oh, that's such a good tune. That's Brenda Lee rocking around the Christmas tree. I was just chatting to Dennis, my studio guest from Queens Pier Restoration Trust, about that. The Mel Smith version, do you remember that one as well?
Yes.
Such good fun. You see, this time of year, it's the best sort of music, isn't it, really?
Of course. Yes.
So we've just had an update on the pier itself, and we were talking about fundraising and how obviously, you're always having to raise money to pay for the work that you're doing and the materials as well. And one of the things that people can do is they can consider a legacy donation, can't they? I know you've had some of those, haven't you?
Yes, we have, yes. Our adverts for legacies, etc., are Manx Radio, which is kindly sponsored by Paul Carey and Sons. Get Paul's name in there.
Yes, thank you, Paul.
And he's been tremendous, even more so than just the adverts. Yeah, Paul, what he does for us is unbelievable. But yes, there are. You can obviously buy planks. You can sponsor stanchions, as we've said, but you could also a little bit more expensive, possibly, is £1,000 towards steel as a lump sum, and it gets your name on a large plaque on the railings of the pier. So as people can go out there now, they'll see some of them plaques already in place where a list of names where people have given us £1,000. But Graham and Gillian in the office are the ones basically to see on that. Now Graham will probably shoot me if I give you the wrong email address, but it's either qprt@manx.net or...
Do you know what? What we'll do is I will share this chat after the show and I'll put the email address on there for you. Should we do that?
That sounds good.
That's
That
probably
sounds
the best
good.
thing to do.
Yeah.
But you know what you're talking there about the different ways people can donate. What fascinates me is the variety of people who have wanted to support this project because, you know, there's been individuals, there's been community groups. I mean, you've got someone coming to deliver a cheque at the weekend, haven't you?
We have Mr. Watkins is coming to the pier tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon, 2:00. He's been walking to each of the lighthouses on the island.
We should say he's 96 years old.
He certainly is 96 years old. Yeah, what a tough man.
So this is incredible. So he's walking to each of the lights. I mean, not all in one go, obviously, but he's...
No. At 96, I wouldn't want to be... I'd be lucky to get to one lighthouse, never mind all the lighthouses. But yeah, unbelievable.
And so he's doing this solely to raise money for the Queens Pier?
Yes, and he's coming to give us a cheque for it tomorrow afternoon at 2:00.
Oh, this is wonderful. Mr. Watkins, you are an absolute legend. Thank you so much for doing that. But you've even got sort of derby karting and people donating to you.
Yes, derby karting did a charity event for us last year and presented us with a cheque for that. And they're going to come and give us a cheque at 10:15 on Saturday morning.
See, it could be anyone. You just don't know who's going to be a Queens Pier
right.
supporter, and
That's
huge
right.
thanks to everyone for doing it. Well, look, if people want to come and enjoy the pier, you've got a number of Christmas events and festivities lined up, haven't you?
We have. We've got the switching off the lights a week on Saturday, which is the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And then again on the 23rd and evenings of the 23rd and 24th, we will open the pier for 2 hours each evening. With all the lights on, so people can come along and see the lights, because there'll be a crowd there a week on Saturday, and everybody won't get the chance to have a good look.
I bet it looks beautiful with the lights.
It is, and last year when we did it, the amount of people that came on to the pier for them 2 nights was unreal.
And for the light switch on, you've got mince pies, Father Christmas carol singers. I mean, what a beautiful event.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hope we have with better weather this year. We had last year because it was rather wet, but it was good. If anybody's bought our calendars, which are all for sale at £9 each from the pier office. The very back page of the calendar is a view out the pier with all our fairy lights on down the rails, and the reflection on the wet planks, because it was a wet night, is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
Well,
yes.
I tell you what else would be a fabulous view. If you can get up early enough on New Year's Day, you've got a special event then, haven't you?
New Year's morning, we'll be opening again, yes, to see sunrise, to see the New Year in. We'll be open from 8 till 10 on New Year's morning. Hopefully the weather will be kind to us, but we're tough out there now. We're getting used to the weather, so we'll be open.
Oh,
and once again, tea, coffee, chocolate.
It's a good way to cure a hangover, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And to start the year right. Dennis, it's lovely chatting with you, and do give all of our best to the fabulous team at Queens Pier, and keep us posted, obviously, on how you're getting on. You can, of course, find the Queens Pier Restoration Trust online. I will post all the links in that email address with this chat in case you missed any of it after the show. So do look out on our socials for that. In the meantime, we'll have some more Christmas music coming up. Happy almost end of the year, and here's to another brilliant year next year.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dennis.
Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre.